So the NBA season is officially underway. Congratulations, everyone, we did it. I'm going to talk about Andre Roberson, one of my favorite players, and how the OKC Thunder are going to have to deal with him being gone until at minimum January because of a setback in his rehab from his injury last season. I think this is pretty frightening for OKC because when they lost Roberson last season, their defense fell off a cliff. They finished 9th, and I haven't looked at any advanced numbers, but I believe, with him, they were getting up to being one of the best teams in the league defensively, and then when they lost him, they dropped down to a mid-tier, and they had to replace him with guys like Terrence Ferguson, and Abrinas played a little bit, and they traded for Corey Brewer, of course, and I think it hurt him quite a bit down the stretch there. I know Roberson's got his limitations on offense, but he still comes out to be a net positive for that team, And now that he is not here, is there a chance that defensively they're just not going to be good enough to win games consistently? Well, Melo is not on the team, of course, and that's a plus for your defense. Still have Steven Adams, still have Paul George, and PG wasn't that great once they lost Roberson, so perhaps he'll just be a little better for this entire run of not having Andre. So I'm not saying that they're going to be bad, but could be, a bit of a struggle. Now Jeremy Grant's going to be, I think, starting. I have to assume he's going to start over Patterson at power forward. Jeremy Grant has the potential to be an all-world defensive player. He already shows flashes of blocked shots and steals, and occasionally he'll have just some crazy athletic play. His problem is just the boring stuff, just staying in front of a guy all the time and the help defense and knowing when to switch and all that. But even then, he's getting better at that stuff. Occasionally he's very good at it. And then you have his length where his wingspan is ridiculous. Yeah, he could make up for a lot of what Roberson is not going to be able to give you because he's out, of course. Patrick Patterson can still move pretty okay, and he knows how to play defense. I mean, he's not the athlete that some of these other guys are, and he doesn't have the toughness of Steven Adams, but he's better than Carmelo Anthony, certainly. Terrence Ferguson has the template of being a defensive player. Whether he's actually playing like that, I don't know. So yeah, they're going to have to get creative. Of course, if Nerlens can be good defensively as well, to where you don't drop off when Steven Adams is not in the game, that would help. But while defense is the main priority, trying to figure it out with Roberson gone, I actually do want to talk about the offense somewhat, because I understand Roberson is potentially the worst shooting perimeter player to ever play in the NBA. Okay, I get it. His free throws are also abysmal in ways that you would think are unimaginable, where he shot 31% last season. But he does still have value on offense, okay? He cuts, he gets offensive rebounds, he's good at just kind of lingering around the basket and making something happen. He's deceptively not a bad passer, even if he doesn't get too many opportunities. And he is good at flowing within an offense. He sets screens. He's a big dude for a guard. He's 6'7", 210 pounds. If he sets a screen on a point guard, good luck getting around him, right? And when I look at some of these other guys who could at least give you that offensively, I don't know. Terrence Ferguson, he should end up being a better shooter than Roberson, but I'm not super confident in his outside shot right now. And Ferguson's just kind of he's a little skittish, I guess. He's not always confident enough to just do the thing you're supposed to do in any particular moment, which is shoot the ball with a guy closing out on you, attack off the dribble or whatever. Roberson, for a lack of a jump shot, still kind of makes stuff happen sometimes. You look at Alex Abrinas, the jump shot is certainly there. However, I don't trust Abrinas enough to flow within OKC's offense the way Roberson does. Sometimes Abrinas is going to hoist up some dumb shot, or he's going to get frustrated that he hasn't touched the ball in 6 minutes because of Westbrook, and then right when he gets it, he's like, okay, I'm going to make something happen this time, whereas Roberson will just keep the ball moving, right? Abrinas is also not going to grab rebounds the way that Roberson does. So I think these are things you got to care about. I mean, Roberson does about as well as he can to still give himself some value offensively. And these other dudes can be a little frustrating sometimes. Now, of course, there are ways to fix these things a little bit. You could have Schroeder sometimes playing at the 2. You could have Raymond Felton sometimes playing next to Russ. Like, these are little things. You've also got Diallo from Kentucky, who is a super athlete, who I think can actually make up for some of the little things that Roberson would do on offense, but whether he's disciplined enough to be a defender and all that stuff in the NBA, we're going to have to see. He definitely has the physical tools for it, but it's a matter of just giving him the chance. Yeah, I mean, I think OKC has enough versatile stuff to where they can kind of just keep trudging along until Roberson comes back, but I also think there's going to be times when they're like, holy crap, like, we really need this guy back, because sometimes you're not going to have that lockdown defender. Paul George is going to have to defend the opposing team's best player for stretches, and he can do it, but maybe that's going to hurt his offense a little bit, and you have one of these dudes who is not really that great on the wing, playing maybe like 7 or 8 more minutes a game than they really should be playing, and it could be a little rough sometimes. Now, with that being said, you've got Russell Westbrook, Paul George, and Steven Adams, so you should be still really damn good. But yeah, I do think the lack of Roberson is still going to hurt them a bit. I think that's it. Shout out to OKC. Shout out to Nerlens Noel. And I'm done.